Welcome to the specialized space. Marina Lysaro had always dreamed of swimming alongside the ocean's giants. From a young age, she dedicated herself to understanding and working with the sea's most powerful predators. Years of rigorous training and deep passion helped her build connections with creatures most people could only imagine encountering. But on a warm June afternoon at Ocean World Orlando, that dream would twist into a nightmare. One she could never have anticipated. This is the chilling story of that day, of a bond destroyed and a life claimed by the very depths she adored. Stay with us, because what you're about to discover is unlike anything you've heard before. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Now, let's dive into the heart of this haunting tale. Marina wasn't just a marine animal trainer. She was a woman deeply in love with the sea and its creatures. At 33, she had already built a reputation as one of the world's top trainers. Orcas weren't just part of her job. They were her passion, her purpose, her lifelong fascination. Over a decade, she had worked with some of the ocean's most intimidating animals, but one orca held a special place in her heart: Nyla, a massive 19-foot, 8,000-pound orca with whom Marina shared a rare and profound connection. Nyla was no ordinary orca. Captured in the wild off the coast of Iceland, she had become the centerpiece of Ocean World Orlando's renowned performances. Yet it was Marina who truly understood her, who formed a quiet but deep bond few could even recognize. Fellow trainers often spoke of the unique relationship between the two. One once said, "Marina and Nyla had something rare. You could see it, this trust that no one else had. They moved like one body in the water. It was beautiful." Audiences were enchanted by their shows, stunning displays of athleticism and grace that left spectators in awe. Marina was famous for her confidence and calmness, for her uncanny ability to read the animals she worked with. She spent not just working hours, but countless personal ones building a relationship with Nyla that she cherished like family. Another co-worker recalled, "She wasn't scared like others. She had this calm energy, like she could speak to them without saying a word." Yet behind the polished shows and cheers of the crowd, there were warning signs, subtle but concerning. Nyla, though majestic, had a history of unpredictable behavior, nothing severe but not nothing either. She occasionally snapped at the water or issued tail slaps, actions dismissed as harmless quirks. In the world of captive marine mammals, such behaviors were considered part of the job. Wild animals, after all, were expected to be moody at times. But Marina didn't see Nyla as just a show animal. She saw her as a partner. Still, even she couldn't foresee what was building beneath the surface. Nyla had spent years in captivity, torn from the frigid waters of her birth and thrust into artificial habitats. Though she remained stunning in appearance, there was something in her, some buried tension no one fully understood. To the casual observer, Nyla was perfection. Her performances were flawless, her movements mesmerizing. But the trainers closest to her knew a different story. Nyla's behavioral record, rarely discussed, included signs of increasing defiance, ignoring signals, displaying frustration, small acts of resistance. A former trainer once confided, "There were signs, little ones, but they were there, and no one wanted to see them. A tail slap here, a missed cue there. Everyone brushed it off. She's just an orca." But the truth was harder to face. Nyla had become a pressure cooker of restrained wildness, her years of captivity pressing in from all sides. Marina, despite her insight and experience, couldn't see how close that pressure was to bursting. And it wasn't just Nyla. The entire system, designed for entertainment and profit, placed unnatural strain on wild creatures, leaving them on edge, unpredictable. On a blistering summer afternoon, with the sun high and the crowds buzzing with excitement, the park was alive with energy. Families streamed in for the day's main attraction, Dances with Giants, Ocean World's headline performance. At 2:30 p.m., the arena filled with guests eager to see Marina and Nyla in action. The pool sparkled in the heat, and everything seemed routine. Backstage, Marina was calm and focused, preparing for a move she and Nyla had executed countless times before. The trick was a crowd favorite. Nyla would lift Marina from the water using her rostrum, a powerful yet elegant display of strength and synchronicity. Timing had to be exact. But Marina trusted Nyla completely. After years of working together, she could read every subtle movement. Still, something felt different that day. As the show began, a strange tension filled the air. Nyla was slow to respond. Her usual eager presence was replaced by hesitant drifting. Marina gave the usual hand signal, one that always brought Nyla to her, but this time Nyla was sluggish. Trying to stay composed, Marina told herself, she's just being stubborn. She tried again. Still, Nyla didn't respond as expected. Then, at 2:47 p.m., as the crowd watched in anticipation, Marina moved into position to begin the stunt. She signaled. Nyla approached, but something was off. Barely noticeable, but Marina sensed it instantly. A slight delay, a hesitation. Then Nyla gave a playful nudge, dunking Marina under the water. It seemed harmless. The audience laughed. Marina forced a smile, splashing back to maintain the illusion. But her instincts were now fully alert. The next moment was different, more forceful. Nyla lunged suddenly, clamping her jaws around Marina's arm. The power of the bite jolted through her body. For a moment she froze, shocked. Was this a mistake? An accident? The audience was still watching, unaware that the performance had gone horribly wrong. Marina struggled, trying to pull free, but Nyla's grip only tightened. The pool erupted into chaos, thrashing water, muffled screams, and a trainer's desperate attempts to escape. It all seemed to unfold in slow motion. Marina's mind raced. How had everything unraveled so fast? The bond she believed was sacred, unbreakable, had betrayed her. Nyla, the companion she loved and trusted, had crossed a line from partner to predator. To those in the stands, it still looked like part of the act. But beneath the surface, Marina was fighting for her life. In one horrifying moment, Nyla dragged her underwater. The orca's jaws crushed her left arm. The pain was instant and overwhelming. Marina was violently pulled down, the surface vanishing above her. The sounds of clapping were replaced by panic. The graceful choreography was gone, replaced by a nightmare. All that remained was a blur of water, noise, and horror as hundreds of guests slowly realized what they were witnessing was not a show. It was real, and it was devastating. At 2:47 p.m., the moment of truth arrived. Marina stood at the edge of the pool, ready to execute the trick. The crowd's attention was fixed on her and Nyla. As Marina extended her arm, signaling Nyla to come closer, something shifted. The orca deviated from the routine. It was subtle at first, just a slight hesitation in her movement, but Marina felt it. She knew her. She could feel that something wasn't right. Then it happened. Nyla, usually so graceful and precise, performed an unexpected move. A playful dunk. Just a gentle push. A harmless gesture. But it was a sign, the first sign that something was off. Marina, ever the professional, played it off. She smiled, splashing water to engage the audience, trying to regain the rhythm of the performance. But Nyla wasn't done. The second time was different, more aggressive. A powerful, sudden grab that caught Marina off guard. Nyla's massive jaws clamped down on Marina's arm with a force that sent shock waves through the water. For a split second, Marina froze. She couldn't believe it. Was this a mistake? A fluke? Could it be that Nyla had lost control? The crowd didn't know what was happening. To them, it was still part of the show. But Marina could feel the difference. She fought to break free, pulling with all her strength. But Nyla wasn't releasing her grip. The water around them churned violently, the sounds of thrashing and splashing drowning out everything else. In those final moments, it was as if time slowed down. Marina's mind raced as she tried to make sense of the chaos around her. What had happened to the bond she thought was unbreakable? What had gone wrong? In front of hundreds of stunned guests, the relationship Marina trusted, the bond she had nurtured over years of hard work and dedication, was now betraying her. Nyla, the orca she had come to love, had transformed from a partner into a predator. The trust was shattered in an instant. The crowd was still unaware of the true horror unfolding before them. To the audience, it looked like part of the performance. But for Marina Lysaro, it was anything but. In a split second, everything changed. Nyla, once the trusted partner, became a force of nature that Marina had no control over. With one swift motion, Nyla's massive mouth clamped down on Marina's left arm. The pain was immediate, intense, as the orca's powerful jaws sank deep into her flesh. Marina's body was jerked with terrifying force as Nyla dragged her beneath the water. The world above the surface disappeared. The audience could no longer hear the splash of water or see the graceful performances they had come to expect. All they could hear now was the deafening roar of the ocean and the frantic cries of those witnessing the unimaginable.